Good morning everyone. Okay, so I'm watching DCIX. This one ran a decent amount yesterday. And so it's gapping up some, flagging nicely. Gonna watch that one. OCRX has been in the same channel basically since pre-market and after hours yesterday and the day before. And so we'll see if it breaks this 173 point. It got faked out here when it tried to break, and so really I'm watching that 178 point to see if it can break that. Watching GROO. Let's see. Watching ITUS. Gapping up some in after hours and pre-market. Not much, not moving too much, but it's gapping up nevertheless. Let me see if I can find anything else moving, and then I'll post my watch list. Good morning, Kyle. Kind of watching EVEP. It's moving a little bit so far in pre-market. Had a big push towards the end of the day. So EVEP. Watching BLDP. It's gapping up some as well. Watching YUMA. Had a big volume spike yesterday, and so it's sitting at 108 now. We'll see if it can push up. Let's see what else is moving. And then I'll go ahead and add my watch list to the chat. ISIG. Keeping an eye on this one. Kind of watching RSLS. We'll see what this one does. Yeah, Kyle. I mean, it's not too bad here. I'm in Texas, so I'm in Central Time. I'm in Central Time right now. It is almost 8 o'clock, 7:30. 7:57 right now, so almost 8 o'clock. My kids get up early anyway, so I have to wake up. But yeah, it's 7:57 right now here in Texas in Central Time. All right, so my watch list, I'll go ahead and add it to the chat. We got a few decent movers today. Hopefully, it can be like yesterday. I didn't get to trade yesterday. I should be able to trade today, it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to add my watch list to the chat now. Let's see. There's my watch list. Hopefully we get a few decent movers. We'll see if EVEP can pick up some volume. This one kind of spiked up towards the end of the day yesterday. DCIX ran really nicely yesterday. Gapped up. It's flagging a little bit so far in pre-market and after hours. OCRX is still following this channel, although it did fake out right here, and so I trust the break of this part right here a little bit less. But if it breaks over that 178 high of yesterday, it looks decent. GRO is sitting right at that $0.50 now. It's at 351, and so we'll see if this one can push up as well. Also watching IMGN. See if it fills some of this gap down, breaks over 5, tries to fill some of that. YUMA, it had a late day spike yesterday. Or it had a high, not a late day spike, but high relative volume yesterday. Definitely pushed up more than it usually does. So watching YUMA. BLDP's gapping up some. It's at 575 now. There's been a wall here at 580, so we'll see if it can break. See if we can break that wall this morning. ISIG. Gapping up some, not the greatest volume, but a little bit, and it's moving some. So we'll see what this one does. ISIG. And RSLS. Gapping up a little bit in after hours in pre-market. I want to see if we can break that 210 high of, let's see, what is this, Tuesday? So I'm going to be watching that point with it. And I'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, I'm back. What's up, Mel? Why did it log me out? Okay, so now it's not letting me log back in UStock. Yeah, just let me logged in. I was just logged in. Man, if UStock does this again today, I'm going to be frustrated. Because it's Friday. I want to trade. Okay. I'm going to have to email UStock, guys. It's not letting me log in. I was just logged in. What the... Man. Alright. Well... I'm gonna have to email UStock now. That's ridiculous, though. ROOT. Good morning, Aaron. Good morning, Lucas. Good morning, Marwan. ROOT. Yeah, nothing's coming up for that on mine, Lucas. You sure it's spelled correctly? BOOT, maybe? I'm guessing you mean BOOT. Well, I guess the good news that UStock isn't working is that I do have 2 day trades left on Robinhood. I made a little bit of money with ALNY yesterday. I got in at 129 and sold up here at about 144, and so I made $15 or something like that, $13 on my small Robinhood account, and so I was happy with that trade. I bought one share of ALNY and wrote it up for this big push, sold up here at the 144 area. And so I'm happy about that trade. And I do have 2 trades left on Robinhood, so I can get into those and still day trade twice today. Just got to be a little bit more selective with my trades. And I'm emailing Rob and UStock now to see kind of what's going on. Alright, so I'm going to see if I can find anything else that's moving. Let me know if you see anything else moving in the chat, guys. We'll see if IMGN can reverse here. Break over 5, fill some of this gap. So I'm watching it. Absolutely, Kyle. I think, what's up, Mel? Yeah, you're absolutely right, Mel. I was going to the bathroom. But, yeah, 100% Kyle. I think UStock's great and everything. I really do. Like, I think cheap commissions. I don't think it's necessary. Like, right, if you can build up a few $1,000s and be consistently profitable is what I think. I think if you can be consistently profitable on UStock, have a few solid months of, a few solid green months where you're profitable overall a decent amount and consistent, most importantly, I think then it's a good time to move over to SureTrader. The biggest problem with SureTrader is the leverage. If you're a new trader and you're brand new to trading and you just jump right in with SureTrader's 6-to-1 leverage and 6-to-1 margin and you start trading with $10,000 or $15,000 worth of buying power, I think that's why a lot of new traders fail on SureTrader, just because that buying power and that leverage is too much. And if you have a few wrong trades with a very small account, like if you have a $1,500 account and you're using, $9,000 in buying power, 1 or 2 bad trades can severely cripple your account. And so, I think that's what new traders need to watch out for. If you do switch to SureTrader early, and you can use SureTrader right from the get-go. The only thing you need to watch out for is using that much leverage. You need to stay away from all the buying power and just use the equity you have in your account, and that way your account's more protected, if that makes sense. And so that's kind of the route I would take if I was a new trader. Looking back, just because I see how I blew up my first account on SureTrader, and I probably deposited $3,000 into my first SureTrader account, and I just used way too big of leverage. I was buying 1,000 shares of $15 stocks, and that can severely cripple your account in a few bad trades. And so you just got to be careful and just use the leverage, or just use the equity you have in your account. I think that's overall much safer. TradeNet. Jake, is that Colmex with Mir? BOOT? I'm not finding it. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, BOOT. We're also watching I can't talk this morning. YUMA, Yuma. It's sitting just over $1 now. Watching BLDP. It's at 575. RSLS, decent volume, picking up some, right at $2 now. So going to be watching this one. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with UStock. Aaron, so I mean, I use Thinkorswim Scanner, but I also use StockTwits and Twitter. So like what I do, and I've been asked this a lot of times, and I've kind of gone over it, but I'll kind of go over it now. Like what I do is I go over what's moving on the Thinkorswim scanning app, but then I also go to Twitter, and in the Twitter search bar I type in pre-market movers or pre-market gainers. Okay, and I just see what everyone else is watching, and I don't copy off of them, but I just see what everyone else is watching, and then I look at it myself and I make my own assessment of it. Okay, so a lot of times I'll see stuff people are watching that I don't like at all, but a lot of times I'll see stuff on Twitter, like just by going into the search box and typing in pre-market movers or pre-market gainers, and I'll look what everybody else is watching, and then I'll kind of make my own assessment and build my watch list that way. Same thing with StockTwits. I'll find a stock that's really pushing up like DCIX, and I go to StockTwits and I search for DCIX. And a lot of times when you do that, you can scroll down and you'll see everyone else's watch list that they're building. And, you can just kind of make your own assessment of it. I just look at them, see which ones I like, see which ones I don't like, and kind of use all those different methods to combine together and make my own watch list, if that makes sense. And so, like, for instance, DCIX, I would just go to StockTwits and type in DCIX and click on it and see what everyone else is saying about it and see if anybody else is watching any other stocks. And then I just kind of add some of theirs, look to see what they're doing. If I like it, I'll add it to my list. And the same thing with Twitter. Like I said, I'll just go in there and I'll type in pre-market gainers or pre-market movers and see what everyone else is watching. Like you could probably go to Twitter right now and type in pre-market gainers. You got to make sure you click latest at the top left chart. They're going to show you some old posts. You want to click the latest post and see the newest posts from pre-market gainers or pre-market movers, and you'll be able to see what everyone else is watching. And so that's kind of how I build my watch list every morning. I'll make a video on it one day. Yeah, Jake, but is that Colmex and Mirbach or whatever his name is? Is that his platform in school? Because I think he's a great trader, Mir is, but I would be very careful with that. I've heard a lot of horror stories about students paying to use that platform, and then they'll tell you that you're not a good enough trader, and they'll kick you off and keep your deposit and everything like that. And so I've heard a lot of horror stories about that if you are talking about Colmex. And so I would be very careful with that. But I can't say I've never used it. I can just say what I've heard, and I haven't heard great things about it. Rick in our chat room, talk to Rick about that, Jake. Rick's one of the guys that's been with beginner trading the longest, and he tried out Colmex, and I think it was TradeNet. I'm not 100% sure, and he eventually left as well. But I've never used it, so I can't say for certain. But I would be careful, MTBC. Oh, I do like MTBC if it can break over 435. LTBR. Yeah, if LTBR can push over that 115 level. Yeah, I think EVEP could push up higher. I really like this setup where I've made a few videos on my swing trading strategy, and so one of my strategies for swing trading is to look for a stock that kind of stayed in a relatively close range, and then right around the end of the day, it pushes up big. The volume spikes up towards the end of the day in power hour. And that's kind of one of my swing trading strategies. I have two swing trading strategies that I implement on a daily basis. One of them is, like I said, when a stock either has low volume throughout most of the day and then gets a really big late day spike, or a stock, a stock closes right around the previous high of the day, preferably over it right before the close. That's my two. They're very simple strategies, but they've worked really well. EVEP is a good example of this one. It kind of stayed in a close range, but then right before the end of the day in power hour, the volume picked up and it spiked up. And I mean, it's gapping up 3 cents, and so not a bad gap up, but we'll see. Yeah, TYHT doesn't look too bad. Kind of same thing here. It spiked right before the end of the day. Kind of dropped down right before it though on this big candle, so I don't like this big candle as much, but we'll see what it does here. But yeah, Jake, like I said, I've never used it before, so I can't really say for certain if those horror stories are true or not. Talk to Rick. Rick from our chat room. He's used them before. I know he eventually left. He didn't stay there long, but he has gone that route before. And so, with anything in trading, you got to be careful. There's a lot of charlatans and, a lot of salesmen in trading. And so I'm just telling you what I've heard. Like I said, I've never used them before, but I've heard some pretty rough things about them. And so, make your own assessment. Ask Rick about it. He's the only one that I personally know that has had actual experience with them. He's actually used them before. And so talk to him. He can kind of guide you in the right way, most likely. I have his phone number if you want me to tell him to get in contact with you, Jake, just so he can kind of tell you what happened. I don't think he necessarily said too many bad things about them, but I can't remember exactly. I know he was on there and he left, and so there's no telling. I know Mir's a great trader, and so I can't say he's a bad trader. He's an awesome trader, obviously, but I've just heard some pretty rough things about them. Yeah, Kyle. I mean, SureTrader's commissions are actually higher than that. SureTrader commissions, usually they're around $14 if you buy under 1,000 shares. If you buy over 1,000 shares, the commissions probably get up to about $16, $17, maybe more than that, just from ECN fees. And so the flat out commission rate is $4.95, but then there's ECN fees on every trade, and so regardless of what happens, it's usually at least going to be $12 or $13. Usually it's right around 14 or 15, just from my experience when I use them. If you use 1,000 shares or more, it's probably around $16, $17 per trade. And so almost double, $10. ARLZ. Yeah, no worries, Jake. Let me see. Do you have WhatsApp, Jake? If you have WhatsApp, Jake, I'll Facebook you my WhatsApp number and just text it to me. I'll text it to Rick or something. All right, so DCIX pushing up. ARLZ. I do like ARLZ. It's pushing up nice. So yeah, it's just under. I mean, it's about where it closed. It closed at 94, 194. It's at 193 now, so we'll see. Okay, that works, Jake. Good morning, farts. What's up, man? All right, guys, we got 5 minutes. Yeah, if I can't get UStock working by Monday, I'm gonna go ahead and deposit like $400, maybe $500 back into Thinkorswim, and I'll get some live trades on Thinkorswim for y'all on Monday, hopefully. So come check out the stream Monday for sure. I'll try to get some live trades using Thinkorswim. Yeah, I'll just deposit a few hundred just so I can get some trades going. I haven't used Thinkorswim since they reduced the T rule. Now it's T2. It used to be T3, so that's always good. True, Kyle. Yeah, it's scary using an offshore broker for sure. You know, I know I've withdrawn from UStock before, and you get your money the next day if you withdraw. Like if you withdraw money from UStock and you put in the request during market hours, you'll get it the next day by 7 a.m. my time. At least that's from my experience. And so, you know, I trust UStock a lot more. But yeah, offshore brokers are a little bit scary. I think it's okay, most likely with SureTrader. I think the thing is most people who use SureTrader end up losing their accounts anyways. And so, you know, you can never really tell. Yeah, it's not letting me sign in again. I emailed them, but they don't get back to you when you email them until market hours, and so we'll see. I have two day trades on Robinhood, so I can kind of walk y'all through. I'll let y'all know when I get in anything on Robinhood. So, but like I said, if I can't get UStock to work, I'm gonna deposit maybe $400 or $500 into Thinkorswim on Monday, and get a few live trades on Monday using Thinkorswim. I kind of miss Thinkorswim, so it'd be nice to. I'll probably just keep that money back in there. I ended up withdrawing most of my money on Thinkorswim just because I wasn't using it that much, but I'll go ahead and deposit a few other $100 into it just so you can see me trade with it. All right, guys, we got about a minute and a half left. Good morning, Black Monday. So Ken, the T rule is you have to wait. Now it's the T+2 rule, so you have to wait 2 days before your funds from a trade clear. And so if I use $500 in a trade to buy some shares, and then I sell that $500 worth of shares, it's going to take 2 days for that $500 to come back into my account for me to trade with it again. Okay, so even if you had unlimited day trades, like even if you had unlimited day trades with, you know, however much money you had, if you only have $1,000, you can essentially only trade two $500 lots of trades, just because you have to wait 2 days for that $500 to go back into your account for you to trade with. It's a rule by the SEC. And so UStock luckily is a T+0 rule, and so anytime I get into a position on UStock and I sell that position, the funds are immediately back into my account. But on Thinkorswim or anything like that, the funds are going to take 2 days, I think is the new one. It used to be T+3, now it's the T+2 rule. So it's going to take 2 days for those funds to get back into my account. All right, here we go. All right, so DCIX looks to be pushing up really nicely. Man, I hate using Robinhood though. It's just not fun. Like I like a web-based platform where I can use my mouse, but I gotta use my phone for this one. Not as much fun. But yeah, DCIX is pushing up nicely. That's the first one I kind of see. ARLZ maybe. Also ISIG, possible. DCIX guys pushing up, testing 5. All right, so DCIX is up over $5. Watching DCIX here. Alright, so there goes DCIX. I'm gonna go ahead and buy 20 shares, maybe 30 shares here on Robinhood. Yeah, just 20 shares. Well, not yet. I'm gonna wait. I don't know. I hesitated on buying my shares on DCIX. Alright guys, so check out ISIG. I really like ISIG right now. It's pushing up towards that pre-market high. There it goes. Okay, so I'm going to buy in ISIG right here with 50 shares. Alright, so I'm in ISIG. I got a really good fill on UStock of 184. And so, or not on UStock, on Robinhood. So I'm in ISIG at 184. Just broke that pre-market high. Volume starting to come up. Up to 191. Let's see if it keeps pushing here. Check out RSLS. Beautiful washout long here, guys. Pushing up over $2 on this bottom, this middle bottom chart right here. Check out RSLS. Trying $2 here. Up to 203 now. Alright, so there we go on ISIG up to 195. Up to 203. And I am out for a $10 profit on ISIG. Alright. So that's always nice to get a profitable trade, especially a $10 gain. That's a big gain on my Robinhood account. And so that's nice to get in ISIG. I think I made $9 profit, not quite 10. Let me see. I made $8.73, which is decent for me. I'm happy with it. Very small. My Robinhood account's tiny, so I'm happy with that gain for sure. I've only got one day trade left, and so I'm going to be very selective with this now. TOPS. Oh yeah, TOPS is pushing up nicely. Alright, so here's kind of a little 1 minute pullback on TOPS. TOPS I don't really trust that much. It's kind of faked people out a lot in the past, and so I don't trust it as much as I do some other ones. But we'll see if it can have a little 1 minute pullback here and continue to push up. Yeah, DCIX looks okay. I mean, it had a really nice push. You can see here all these up wicks and down wicks, especially this long up wick here. It just means indecision. And so, I mean, if it holds support over $5 and continues to push up, that's great. But it's already pretty overextended in the last few days. Let me see. Yeah, a few days ago, this thing was at 29 cents. And so right now it's at $5 and something. And so I'd be very careful with it just because it's overextended. But you never know. It could run up here. Just all these up wicks and down wicks just means indecision, in my opinion. And so I'm not going to trust it as much. ITUS, yeah, ITOS is pushing up nicely as well. We'll see if this is a good 1 minute pullback strategy here on ITUS. Here's the pullback. Even if it's just a micro pullback, that's okay. But a big down wick, which means some buying pressure. We'll see here. I'm also watching ISIG. You can see here it had a 1 minute pullback here, trying to get over 2. All right, so there goes DCIX trying to push up to 550. We'll see if it can hold this time. At 546. All right, so there goes ITUS as well, pushing up. DCIX got rejected back down. Big long up wick here. Yeah, see, that's why I don't trust DCIX. Fake, that was a huge fake out. Went up there, tapped 550, and then it washed all the way back down. And so, not my favorite one. Look at ITUS though. ITUS is pushing up nicely. Got a lot of down wicks, which means buying pressure. And so we'll see if this one continues. Up to 234 now on ITUS. See if I can find anything else moving. Check out CERS, guys. CERS has this little micro pullback here over $3, and now it's starting to push up even more. All right, so there goes ITUS up to 240. 242, looks like it's going to test that 250 area. Kind of needs a pullback here, but we'll see. I've only got one day trade left on Robinhood, and so I'm going to be very selective with it. Check out OHGI. The volume's picking up a little bit. I do like OHGI. All right, so OHGI up to 134. I might hop in it here. Go ahead and get my screen recorder out on my phone so I can try to record this last trade. I forgot to record that first one. All right, so CERS. I do like CERS. Had a 1 minute pullback. It's pushing over. There goes ITUS here. All right, so I'm in CERS with 50 shares. Up to 318, 319, 320. So I'm in CERS after this 1 minute pullback. Entry of 316. Up to 323. There we go. 324. Big pullback here down to 319. See if it rebounds here. Yeah, I do like Robinhood's fills a lot better than UStock's. Their fills are just much better. LBIX. Oh, LBIX testing $2 now. At 199. Over 2 now at $2.02. Now back down to 2. Up to 202 again on LBIX. Up to 204 now. Looks to be going to test that 205 previous high of the day on LBIX. Up to 212. Big push on LBIX. 214. $215, $216. Big run on LBIX, guys. Check that one out. $222, $225, $221, $223. Big push on LBIX, guys. Check that one out. Pull back here, back down to 217, which is okay. It kind of needed a pullback. That was a huge push. Still holding CERS. Like I said, my entry is 316. It's up to 321 now. See if we can push up and break that 325 previous high. I'm going to go ahead and set a stop loss for CERS at 310. LBIX, guys, up to 230s now. Up to 325. Okay, so I've got my stop loss on CERS set at $3.10. So only a $3 loss. So even if I get stopped out of CERS, I'm still up about $6 on the day, which is okay with me. I'm happy with that. Big push on LBIX, guys. Also watching ITUS here to see if it flags a little bit. It's kind of flagging here. May look better on the 2-minute chart. You can see here if it gets over this 245 area, it could run if it breaks that 250 point. Alright, so ITUS creeping back up around that previous high of the day at 245. It's right around 240 now. Braxton, it won't let me sign into UStock today. I contacted them. I'm just waiting to hear back from them. So I'm trading on Robinhood now. Like I said earlier, if I still can't get UStock to work, I'm gonna deposit about $500 into Thinkorswim and just trade using Thinkorswim on Monday, just so I can get some live trades on screen for y'all. Because I mean, I know a lot of people are just here to see what's moving, and so I'm still calling out what's moving. And I'm trading with my Robinhood account, letting you know my entry. But yeah, UStock's not letting me sign in again today. All right, so CERS, guys, pushing up to 325 around that high of the day. I'm currently up about $4 on this trade. We'll see if it can follow through here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and set my stop loss for CERS at break even now. For 316, I'll go ahead and set it for 314 for like a 50-cent loss. All right, so LBIX, guys, pushing back up. All right, so CERS up to 326 now. I'm currently up $5 on this one, 328. 329, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and sell this one coming up. 331. I'm gonna go ahead and sell this one for a $7 profit on CERS. All right, so I'm up about $16 on Robinhood today, and so pretty good day. I'm definitely happy with that. 2 profitable trades on Robinhood. I called them out as soon as I got into them, so you can't say I'm being dishonest about it, but pretty decent trades. I can't remember what I made that first $9 on this morning. I'll have to go back and check. BONT. Alright, so yeah, guys, I just sold the rest of my position with an exit of 330 for CERS. I think I made 650 on it with my entry of $3.16. My Robinhood account's tiny, and so I'm happy with a very small gain. I made $9 on it as well this morning. Can't remember what that first stock was, but I'll have to go back and check. But yeah, 2 profitable trades for me on Robinhood. Not too bad. Yeah, wash out long on BONT. Up to 70 cents now. Let's see if we can fill some of this gap down here. Up to 75 cents. So LBIX still running here, guys. All right, so you can see these first few flags on LBIX. You can see these first little flags here. And so this is kind of the third flag. If you've watched any of my other videos, I don't trust the third flag as much as the first two. And so we'll see if it pulls back big here. It might look better on a different chart. Let's look at the 2-minute. So here's one flag, second flag, now trying for the third. Does anybody remember what stock I made that first $9 on? I can't remember. DCIX? Yeah, DCIX. I was telling somebody that today. Somebody asked me about it. This thing is up from like 30 cents in the last 2 days. It was just over $5. So from 30 cents to $5 in 2 days. So yeah, it has to come down in my opinion. Stocks like this, I wish I could short because they're obviously going to fall down eventually. Obvious pump. I mean, I think it had good news or reverse split. Yeah, it had a reverse split. And so, but still, this thing had to come down. It's up from 30 cents and over $5. So, yeah, it was ISIG, Andre. Appreciate it. Yeah, I made a little bit on ISIG. Not a huge push, but I got in once it broke that pre-market high, which is my favorite strategy. Wrote it up from this push here up to 202 is where I sold. Made $9 profit on this one. May look better on the 1 minute. Yeah, I got in once it broke this previous high here. I think my entry was 184, and I sold at 202. So I made $9 on that one. My second trade was on Robinhood. I got in at $3.16, and I wrote it up to about 330. So happy with both of those. TOPS washing out. Check out BLDP. Pushing up. Might try $6 today. We'll see. So CERS pushing up, testing that previous high of the day again. I probably should have held this one a little bit longer, but there's nothing wrong with taking profits. I took a 15, 16 cent move on it, 14 cent move actually, and so I'm happy with that trade. You know, I've had 2 profitable trades back to back today, and so today's a decent day. Called both of those trades out as soon as I got in, and called out my exit as well, and so I'm happy with both of those. ISIG might start reversing here. We'll see. I know I missed yesterday, but yeah, there's a lot of decent setups. Fridays are usually, Fridays usually have really good volume. I'm just glad I had those 2 trades left on Robinhood. I got the last trade on video, so I'll make a video about this last trade on CERS. Thinking about that, I need to stop the screen recording or it's going to be way too long. So yeah, but yeah, Fridays are usually pretty decent. I just wish I could have traded on UStock. I don't know what's going on with them. And so hopefully it should be back up Monday. But like I said, I'm going to deposit about 500 into Thinkorswim. So if you want to see me trade on Thinkorswim on Monday and see what it's like trading on Thinkorswim, make sure you hit that subscribe button now. I'm going to go ahead and deposit some money to trade with it, just so I can get a few trades on video or on stream. PYDS. Yeah, but my Robinhood account is tiny, so that little $16 gain on my Robinhood account is a pretty big gain, actually. you know, for that, my Robinhood account's only a few $100s, and so that little gain is, I'm happy with it for sure. Yeah, PYDS maybe trying to reverse here. I'm going to watch to see if it can hold over this 334 previous high, to see if it's a legitimate reversal. CERS still trying, pushing up towards that previous high of the day. Let's look at the 5-minute. The 5-minute, this thing looks ridiculously overextended. But no, I mean, we could watch for a 5-minute pullback on CERS. Let's look at the 2-minute. Yeah, the 2-minute looks better. You're still in DCIX, Black Monday. Be careful, man. You know, it's the third flag pattern here. You can see 1 flag, 2 flag, 3 flag. The third flag pattern failed. So if you watch my video on flag patterns, I'm not saying I'm an expert or anything, but just what I've figured out is that the third flag is a lot less reliable. But I mean, this pullback's pretty big, and so it could come back here and start pushing back up. It just needed a bigger pullback after that third flag, and so we'll see. Watching BONT here, it's at almost 70 cents, just under 70 cents. Now it's at 70 for this washout long setup. If you like the more expensive stocks, check out ESIO, pushing over 22. So everything's kind of slowing down a little bit. A lot of stuff is pulling back now. ISIG may be trying to creep up and push $2 again. Watching it over this 188 point. Yeah, it looks like my exit at $3.30 was a decent exit. I mean, it got up to 137, but it couldn't push any higher. And so this is another example of the third flag. You know, 1 flag, 2 flag. The third one ultimately failed. And so might look better on the 1 minute to give you a better example of it. Here's 1 flag, 2nd flag, 3rd flag. After the 3rd one, it tried for this 4th one and it failed ultimately. And so 3rd flag's a little bit less reliable in my opinion. ISIG, push it up over that previous high at 187. It's up to 193 now. Made $9 on this one today, getting in at the pre-market high break, but it's pushing up, trying to reverse here a little bit after this really big pullback. The high of the day is at 204. And so watching that area for this one to see if it can hold over $2 basically. Yeah, Yeah, Andre, you can see here I drew this support and resistance line a while ago, but it's still actually basing it off of this. So you can see here, here's some support here, and I drew this support and resistance line maybe a week or two ago on LBIX, and so it's still up on the screen, but you can see it's still using this support and resistance line from a few days ago or a few weeks ago. And so it dropped under it now. I'd be careful if it drops under this 211 previous low right here. It found some support there, and so I'd be careful if it drops under that now. There it goes. Be careful on LBIX, guys. It's pulling back here. ISIG up to 197. Trying to come back here. That's right, Black Monday. I'll see you on Monday, man. Have a good weekend, bro. Alright, so ISIG still pushing up to 198. Gonna test $2 again. There it goes, up to $2. ISIG, guys, coming back here. We'll see if it can break or if $2 holds as resistance. Now it's up to 199, up to 202. Looks like it's going to break that 204 previous high, up to 203, up to 205. It just broke. ISIG up to 206. Back down to 202. Let's see if it holds. It might be a double top here, so be careful. Let's see if it breaks it clean on ISIG up to 205. Now the biggest thing is that it holds $2 as support, which it doesn't look like it will. It might pop back here. Yeah, Jake, do you mean this triangle? The only triangle I can see on BONT is right here. If you mean this one, I see it. This one right here. Yeah, if that's the one you mean, it looks like a good short because that's a ascending triangle. Alright, so ISIG up to 206. There it goes. It just needed that pullback. It popped over 2, held it as support. Now it's trying to push over that 207 high of the day. Up to 208 now, ISIG. Up to 205. Yeah, it did break. I mean, ascending triangles can be used for both longs and shorts. And so you can see this one, it broke the triangle going down. Those two support and resistance lines got squeezed together. Okay, so ISIG One of my favorite breakout patterns is when it breaks over a whole dollar, comes back down, holds that previous resistance as support, and then pushes up. And so that's what ISIG did here. We'll see if it fulfills it and continues pushing up to 209. Too many shares, Farts? How many shares do you have on ISIG? Check out VRAY. This one's pushing up nicely. Same thing with ZNGA. Very small range. Most likely a higher float stock, but just by how it's moving, it looks like it has a little bit larger of a float on ZNGA, but it's testing that $4 area still, so we'll see what it does here. CERS, I made a little bit of money on this one today, but it's creeping back up towards that previous high of the day at 337. So it doesn't look like ISIG could fulfill that pattern here. It got rejected back down. We'll see if it holds 2 as support. ITUS is trying to reverse here. Watching ITUS over this previous high right here at 227 for a reversal play. VRAY pushing back up to 837 here. Up to 841. Looks like it's going to try that 850 level. Okay, so ITUS broke over that previous high right here at 227, or the high of this kind of flag, bear flag right here. We'll see if it reverses and continues to push up now. Up to 230. And if you're just now joining us, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the bell next to it if you want the alert every time I go live. Usually I'm day trading my small account on UStock. Been having problems signing in, but I should be trading on Monday. I switch it up a little bit and trading on Thinkorswim on Monday. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys. Also, make sure you click that like button for this stream. Everybody click the like button right now. We definitely appreciate the support. KEM, red to green. Yep. I see it. Looks nice. We'll see if we can hold over this previous resistance level now. Testing 1750 now. Alright, so VRAY testing that 850 level. It's at 849 now. It just popped over it. DCIX looks like it's trying to have a little comeback here, but it just dropped over this 450 level. Oh yeah, it's filling this gap right here. Okay. We'll see if it can hold though. It needs to hold over 2. Had a little fake out here. Alright, so VRAY up to 852 now. Good morning, Pierre. What's up, man? VRAY up to 860 now, pushing up really nicely. All right, so VRAY up to 862. Seeing if KEM holds support over that previous resistance line right here at 1730s. Looks to be doing it. These two candles bounced off of it, so we'll see. Alright, so DCIX looks to be reversing here as well. Breaking over that 462 previous high. Or that 462, 468 previous high. At 466 now. Watching for a reversal play on DCIX here. Also watching KEM to see if it bounces nicely off of this 1730s previous high right here. Also watching ISIG to see if it bounces off of this previous support level at 189. I made a little bit of money on this one today, getting in at this pre-market high break, riding it up to about 202. Made about $9, about $8.50 or something like that on ISIG this morning. Also made about $7 on CERS, getting in at 816, riding it up to 830. So up about $16 on the day. Definitely happy with that. I used Robinhood for those two trades, and so my Robinhood account's tiny. So a $16 gain is actually a pretty big percentage gain compared to, relative to my the size of my Robinhood account. Big drop on VRAY. Couldn't hold over that 850s level. We'll see if it bounces back here. And it looks like ISIG is bouncing off of this previous support level here. We'll see if it tests $2 again. And that's why it's funny when people say support and resistance doesn't work. You can see I drew this line a while ago, right when it topped here. I drew this line right here, and you can see it bounces right off of that previous resistance level, using it as support now. Similar thing with KEM. It keeps bouncing off of this previous high right here at 1732. Keeps bouncing right off of it. Alright, so ISIG back up to over $2 at 202 now. Let's see if it gets some momentum going forward to break that 212 previous high. Up here, Mr. Axe, I usually use UStock. I'm having trouble signing in today, but everyone else doesn't seem to be having a problem, and so I've been in contact with UStock trying to get it fixed. UStock's actually a pretty decent broker. My experience with them has been good. I think I got my account up to the $1,780 area, and I deposited $1,000 into them about 3.5 months ago. And so I've been able to be successful on there. It's really easy to set up an account. You should have one approved. All you have to do is, it's way easier than SureTrader. You don't have to jump through hoops. I don't think you even have to send your license in or anything. I was approved in a day or two with UStock. And deposits are quick. Withdrawals are quick. If you deposit something during market hours, it should be in your account the next morning. typically. Same thing with withdrawals. If you withdraw money, it should be in your account the next day, in your bank account. And so, yeah, it's actually pretty easy. There's no fees. The only fees UStock has are $1 commission, so $1 per trade, and a $1 a month subscription fee. But that's it. There's no other fees aside from that. ISIG breaking over that 212 previous high. Back down to 210 now. We'll see if it can continue to push up. Man, that's rough, Andre. What'd you get filled at? 20,000 shares, farts on ISIG, man. Okay, so you can look at KEM. It bounced off this previous support level here like I said I wanted it to. I mean, I can't get into it, but it bounced off of this previous support level here at 1733. Now it's pushing up really nicely. Be careful, farts. With that 20,000 shares, man, that's a ton. Good luck. I mean, it seems to be pushing up okay. We'll see if it can hold now over that 204 previous resistance from this push right here at the open. KEM up to 1760, broke that previous high. ISIG back down to 202. KEM up to 164 now, or 1764, I'm sorry. Now I'm watching it to see if it holds this previous high now. Up to 1766. There you go. Should be making a push here, it looks like. 1767. Back down to 1760s. We'll see if it holds this previous high here is what I'm looking for now. Like I said, at about 1756. 1767 now. There we go. There's that push. See, this is always what I want to see. I want to see it push over a previous resistance line, come back down, hold it as support really nicely right here, and then follow through with the push of that previous high right here. It's always what I want to see. If you've seen my videos on flag patterns, that's one of the biggest things I look for. I don't know though. I don't like that upwick. That upwick means selling pressure, but it's a nice push nevertheless. We'll see if it can follow through with it. There it goes. Yeah, KEM's pushing up nicely. Yeah, and I'm not an expert on anything, guys, so don't get me wrong. I just like to go over what has worked for me previously. And one thing that I realized I was getting in a lot of failed breakouts. And so one thing that helped me was to wait for it to hold support like it did here. So a lot of people will pop in here. When it gets rejected here, they'll exit. So I like to wait for it to pop over, hold as support, and then make another run up. ISIG up to 209 now. Oh, I know, farts. That's one thing I got to give you credit for, man. You're pretty patient. I realized that after that PYDS trade, or that trade the other day. Yeah, that's the biggest thing I need to work on, farts, is holding my winners a little bit longer, you know. Yeah, that makes sense, farts. Yeah, that's why maybe it was PYDS. All right, so KEM up to 1777. I know S is holding this one. S from the chat said he got into this one, so it looks to be pushing up nicely, up to 1778 now, 1779. Beautiful breakout. See, a beautiful play here. It broke over this previous resistance line, held it as support right here, and then pushed over. That's why it's always good to wait for it to hold as support, and then once it pushes over, it's a lot more reliable in my opinion. And so, nice trade, S. Yeah, true, it is the cup. You can see the cup right here, the handle here. ISIG struggling over $2. I don't know. It looks to be kind of holding support well over it, so we'll see. It could always push up. Yeah, Farts, I'm not going to get mad at you for anything, man. You did awesome. You know, you're doing pretty good so far, I think. So, good job, bro. You definitely have more patience than I do in the market. But everybody has their own style of trading. But yeah, you definitely been doing well, man. Good job, bro. Nice trade, S. Pierre, I mean, I wouldn't say I know a ton. I mean, I've been trading for 2 years now, maybe a little bit under 2 years, and just from experience, you know, losses, you learn the most from your losses, and just kind of, you know, experimenting to see what works. That's basically what I've done. I just kind of experiment, see what has worked for me, what doesn't. You know, I used to get caught in a lot of fake outs, a lot of fake breakouts, and I still do sometimes. But one thing that works is kind of this, like S said, this cup and handle pattern. I don't call it a cup and handle, but that's essentially what it is. But I like to see if a stock's going to break out, I just like to see it push over and then come back down and hold it as support. And then I like to get in right here once it breaks over that previous high. You know, and that's what's worked the best for me. With breakout patterns. Like I said, before I would just jump in a breakout pattern, especially like a half or whole dollar break. I would just jump in as soon as it broke over that, and a lot of times I would get caught in like a fake out. But really it wasn't a fake out at all. It was just coming back down to hold that previous high as support. And so I realized if I just wait for it to hold it as support and then jump in, you know, the trade was ultimately more reliable for me at least. And this is just all my, you know, from my experience. So I can't say I'm not an expert at trading by any means, so don't get me wrong. You know, I like to tell my viewers what has worked for me, but what works for me might not work for other people. And so you really got to figure out, you know, your own personality as a trader, find out what works for you, what you're comfortable with, and just continue to do that, you know, rinse and repeat, and just do that over and over again, whatever works for you. You know, you got to study your trades, find out what's worked the most percentage-wise. You know, review each trade every day, see what works the most for you, and then just kind of implement and emulate that over and over again. Oh, what's up, Ali? What's up, man? Oh, you're Ali from the chat, man. Sorry. Yeah, I couldn't tell, man. What's up, dude? Yeah, honestly, I was wondering where you went, Ali. You changed your name. Now it's S. All right, so CERS, guys, is starting to push back up. I ended up exiting this one at $3.30. So it still had a little bit of room. My entry was at 316, so I made 14 cents on this one, but it's pushing up nicely now, and it broke over that previous high right here. And so it's at 343. Let's see if it tests 350, but CERS is starting to wake back up after a little bit of sideways action here. All right, so CERS coming back down. We'll see if it holds now over this previous. We'll see if it holds over this previous resistance line right here in the 330s. All right, so DCIX looks like it's trying to reverse here. There it goes, breaking that 466 high up to 469 now. We'll see if DCIX runs a little bit up to 471 now. Alright, so you can see KEM doing the same thing. It broke over that previous high. It's coming back down and holding it as support. I don't like it as much now just because this pullback's pretty big right here. And so a little bit too big of a pullback for what I like, but you know, can't say it's not going to keep pushing up. You can never really tell. So DCIX trying to get over that previous resistance level. It's up to 471 now. Oh, we got some people here. I'll be right back, guys. Somebody rang my doorbell. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I have some contractors out here. They're going to fix my back fence. So ISIG pushing over that previous high of the day. It's at 216 now, or 215. We'll see if it kind of continues to push up here. 217. Yeah, so farts, if your entry was 194, let me see. I mean, I could assume your risk would be at about 189 if you're using a very small risk area. If I was farts, my risk would be at about 189 where this previous low was and this previous high was right here. But it's pushing up nicely up to 217 now. DCIX pushing up to 480 for that reversal play here. Andre, I don't know how many times that's happened to me. It's happened to me a lot of times, though. When I hold a position waiting for it to reverse, and then as soon as I exit, it shoots up a huge amount. And so that's happened to me a ton. One of the most frustrating things in trading. ALRZ, Mr. X? Let me see. Yeah, that previous high of pre-market at 199. Right at that $2 point. But yeah, if I was farts, and you know, every trader's different, but if I was in ISIG with an entry of 194, my risk would most likely be here at 188. Previous reward would be potentially at 214 if I got in there, so we'll see. All right, so now with ISIG, we'll see if it holds over this previous high. But yeah, I get a lot of people asking me why I don't use more studies. I just like trading simple price action. That's what's worked the best for me. I think the my chart's too cluttered if I use too many studies and stuff like that. I used to use a lot more. I used to use the EMAs, the VWAP, but I've had decent success with simple price action. Like you can see, I had 2 profitable trades this morning back to back, 100% accuracy this morning, just using simple price action. And so while my gain was only about $16, my Robinhood account's only a few $100s, and so it's actually a pretty big percentage gain. And that's just what has worked for me so far. I can't hate on any of the studies. I do like some of the EMAs, like the 9 and the 13 EMA, but I've just tried to, rinse and repeat what has worked for me previously, and it's done me pretty well. And so that's why I only use price action and no studies, just because it's what's worked for me the best, and I don't really want to stray from what has been working, if that makes sense. So. All right, so now you can see ISIG kind of bouncing over this previous high here. Kind of a whippy stock though. Yeah, Andre. Yeah, I mean, take your gain. It was a pretty good gain. The volume kind of went down on CERS. And so, I mean, yeah, you're still up about 10 cents. No shame in taking a little profit like that. Still a good trade, man. Check out ANTH. ANTH volume spike. Kind of slowed down a little bit now, though. We'll see if it tests this previous high at 189. Okay, so we'll see if ISIG can continue to hold support over this previous high here at 209. Check out UQM, guys. UQM is pushing up really nicely, testing that 129 previous high of pre-market. It also had a really nice 1-minute pullback here, so check out UQM. Pushing up really nicely. It's at 128 now. That previous high of pre-market was right here at 129, so when it breaks this 129 point, it could run up big if it breaks. And this is all just in my opinion, not an investment professional, so you got to make your own assessment of the market. But watching UQM to see if it breaks 129 right here. EVEP got rejected right at $1. And CERS creeping back up. Looks like it may try to get past that previous high and that previous resistance it had right here at 345. All right, so you can see this DCIX reversal ended up being fulfilled. It's starting to push back up now. All right, Ali, see you later, man. Have a good weekend, bro. And we'll see you on Monday, man. DXTR. Oh yeah, DXTR pushing up as well. A little bit cheaper of a stock. All right, so ANTH pushing up, trying to test that 189 previous high of the day. ANTH breaking up, hitting 189 for that high of the day. We'll see if the volume can spike up on ANTH here. Also watching this UQM to see if it breaks this 129 pre-market high. ANTH still sitting right at that high of the day at 189. We'll see if it can push over it with some volume. I want to see the volume come in on ANTH to see if it spikes up. Triple tap here on CERS. All right, so ANTH may be getting rejected here at that previous high at 189. I could try to do that. Welcome. I'll try to do that on Monday, especially if I'm going to be trading using Thinkorswim on Monday. I may try to squeeze in time and sales. But anyways, guys, with all that being said, I'm probably done for the day. It's 10:40 market time. Had two profitable trades today, called out as soon as I entered those trades and as well as my exits. And so overall, I'm happy with it. Up about $16 on Robinhood today. Hopefully, UStock will be ready Monday. But if not, I'll be live trading using Thinkorswim and just get a few trades using Thinkorswim on Monday morning. So if you're first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the bell next to it if you want the alert every time I go live. As well as make sure everyone likes this stream right now. Click that like button as a personal favor to me. We really appreciate it. So if you appreciate this content, we appreciate the support. And good luck in the markets for the rest of the day, guys. Have a good weekend. See y'all on Monday.